Welcome to In Touch Crime Beat. I'm Officer Don with Fayette Commonwealth's Attorney Ray Larson.
Out of jail, okay? Don't mess up.
And those are the people, those repeat offenders, the ones that go to prison. And
They say we're the #1 rated radio show in the whole country.
Welcome to the second part of In Touch. This is Crime Beat.
I'm Officer Don with Fayette Commonwealth's Attorney Ray Larson. And Ray has showed up with his Lexington Police Planning and Analysis Unit monthly crime comparison in hand.
yes,
And that's what we're going to go over.
well, part of it, right.
Go ahead with it.
Well, this is put out by the Planning and Analysis Unit at the Police Department, and it gives me a report on crimes that have occurred during this past month. David Lyons is kind of in charge of it. He was a homicide detective for a while.
We were partners, as a matter of fact. I liked it because I'm taller than you. So I felt really tall.
I like it because I'm taller than you.
I tell you, David, of course, I got off track. He's one of the best detectives we've ever had.
Well, he's very, very smart.
But now he's one of those lieutenants, administrators, so we won't hold that against him.
So he's quit being a policeman.
Yeah, he's pretty sharp. He's pretty sharp. And he helps gather this data that, sounds sort of boring on its face, but the reality is this is what the police department uses to help plan crime suppression, to suppress crime and evil. You got to have this information, this intelligence to know where to send your troops and where you're being most effective. And you use this too to try to sort of keep an eye on things, right?
Sure. The first area is the traffic issue. And I want to talk a little bit about the whole vehicular stuff. This has been an awful, awful week that's just gone by. Just this week I've been called. We have a collision reconstruction unit at the police department. It's been kind of reorganized under Chief Ronnie Baston and Assistant Chief Mark Barnard. And we get called to vehicular cases in which there's a serious physical injury or a death. The idea is to determine whether or not there's a crime involved, and we go out there, and it's always good from a prosecutor's perspective to see the scene, but even not just vehicular stuff, but anytime there's a homicide or that sort of thing, it's good to be able to see the scene so that when you're trying the case, you have some perspective. And this past week has been awful for vehiculars. I mean, I don't know what's going on. Sergeant Ron Keaton, who is a member of the collision reconstruction unit, says this time of year when the weather's changing, people are out, people are driving more, that sort of thing. He says this is the busy time for collisions and that sort of thing. And so, I mean, this past week it's just been full moon or something out there.
Well, you get a lot of things. People are in a better mood. I think when the weather is like this and you enjoy driving more, and maybe people drive a little faster, they're not as careful. You got more motorcycles out too this time of year too, and more people are just out. So you add all that up, and yeah, this is the busy time as far as wrecks go. It almost seems like it pops when the warm weather breaks, and then it starts settling down toward the summer. But it has been it's been crazy, absolutely crazy.
Let me tell you about collisions. Just in April, according to the report, there were 1,120 collisions in Lexington. For the year through April, there have been 4,500 collisions. Now, let's talk a little bit about the number of collisions that involve alcohol. So far this year, we've had 178. There have been 58 people have been injured in those 178. Fortunately, we haven't had traffic fatality that's alcohol related this year, but we will. I mean, it just happens. So it's a little bit scary, and it really is scary. Another thing we have here is just your Part 1 crimes. Now, Part 1 crimes are the serious crimes that occur in Lexington. That includes the murders, the rapes, the robberies, the assaults, the burglaries, the thefts, auto theft, and arson. And in April, we had almost 1,140 serious crimes, very serious crimes in our town. Fortunately, we didn't have any homicides, but we did have 16 rapes. We had lots of burglaries, of course, and those are those nonviolent property offenders that our legislature is happy to put back on the street. Those yard birds happen to be the ones that commit most of the crimes. And so you have that kind of issue. The larcenies, the thefts are up again.
Well, let's stop for just a second. We talk about the people that are being let out of prison. I'm looking at this crime data report here, and in total, the total value of things stolen.
Now this is just the thefts business.
The thefts.
And burglaries and that sort of thing.
I'm reading this right, in a month, $2 million stolen. At the top of the list were cars at $408,000. But you get in here to computer software, computers, things like that, $60,000 stolen. Money, that's the top, $833,000 in cold hard cash stolen in the period of April. Tools, this is stuff people are taking out of your garage, out of your truck, your car, $50,000 or so. $90 in aircraft parts, I don't know where that came from. Building materials, $15,000 stolen. Check metals, non-precious metals. These are the fools that are going in and taking the copper out of your air conditioning system at the churches and stuff like that. $39,000 stolen.
Let me stop you there. Remember the case where they steal $20 worth of copper, and they cause $35,000 worth of damage?
Yeah.
This $39,000 is just the value of the metal,
itself, not the damage.
Not the damage. If we got into the damage, then we're talking big time stuff.
Well, and you made this point before when you
Tune into the following stations to hear the full episode.